Years ago, when I was looking for a free 3D modeling program, I found FreeCAD. It took me weeks to understand how 3D modeling worked in the software, and honestly, I became quite frustrated. I had just migrated from AutoCAD to FreeCAD and was practically a beginner. Therefore, in this first video of 2026, I will start by giving you an overview of the basics of FreeCAD along with some more advanced aspects of the program so you don't get lost like I did years ago if you are new to FreeCAD. How FreeCAD works, its versions, the basic 3D modeling workflow, essential settings, and the settings I usually use are some of the topics I will cover in this video and maybe in the next one, so you can feel comfortable working with FreeCAD. If you have decided to learn more about FreeCAD and found this video, you probably already know that it's a completely free program, which is a major advantage over other 3D modeling tools, but that's not all. In fact, FreeCAD has a community of developers dedicated to improving the software and adding new features. This same community depends on our support, and thanks to them, FreeCAD remains free and open source for everyone. For 3D modelers, FreeCAD is essentially a parametric 3D modeling program that allows you to create real-world objects of any size. Each object you create can be easily modified by going back through the model history, which makes the workflow much simpler and more efficient. However, FreeCAD does more than just 3D modeling. It runs on the three major operating systems and is easy to install on a computer. If you want to download FreeCAD and install it on your computer, I recommend going to the official website of FreeCAD. Always click on the download tab to check the current stable version, which at the time of recording this video is version 1.0.2. From there, you can download the appropriate FreeCAD installer and install it on your machine according to your operating system. The installation is very simple. When you run the program for the first time, keep in mind that every time you launch it, a small loading window will appear. Once the program finishes loading, the start page opens. Since this is your first time running FreeCAD, it will ask you to set some basic settings such as the language, unit system, theme, and navigation style. You can set this to English, standard unit system, line theme, and gesture navigation style. Once that's done, the basic setup is complete, and these are the settings I use. If necessary, restart the program so the settings are applied correctly. This is the screen you will see every time you launch FreeCAD from now on. Now, having a basic understanding of FreeCAD's interface will allow you to use the program correctly. So let's take a look at it. This large and scrollable area is the start page. It's where you can explore examples and create new files. On the left side of the start page, we have the combo view. The combo view shows information about the model in the model tab and available features in the tasks tab. At the bottom, we have the status bar, which displays information and widgets. Further up, we have the toolbar area. Inside the toolbar area, we find another toolbar called the workbench selector, used to switch between workbenches in FreeCAD. Above the toolbar area, we have the standard menu. For a clean interface, you can disable the status bar. Just go to the standard menu, click View, and disable the status bar using this option. Now that you are familiar with the FreeCAD interface, let's take this 3D model as an example and use it to simulate the drawing process in FreeCAD so we can better understand how the program works. In FreeCAD, all 3D models and projects are created inside a document. To start a document, click on the empty file option available in the start page. To save the created document, click the save icon and assign a name to the file. On this screen, still within the FreeCAD interface, we see the 3D view with two elements, the navigation cube and the coordinate system. If you would like to customize these two elements, you can do so from the Preference, where FreeCAD allows you to adjust their appearance. Go to Edit and select Preference. In the Preference window, open Display and then the Navigation tab. For the navigation cube, I usually set the size to 106 and choose a white color. For the coordinate system icon, switch to the 3D view tab, where I typically leave the size set to 30%. For rendering 3D models in the 3D view, I usually set anti-aliasing to the highest level and sometimes enable one of these options. To work without distractions, you can disable the report view, go to General, Report View, and uncheck Show Report View on Error. If you want to understand why FreeCAD sometimes crashes, then leave it enabled. Next, go to the Notification Error tab and disable it. As well, again, leave it on only if you want to see messages and errors. Finally, click Apply and OK to save your change, and then restart the program. As you can see, this small 3D project is quite simple. It basically consists of 3 parts, the main piece along with a screw and a nut. Despite its simple structure, it requires different workbenches for modeling and assembly. So it's important to get to know the workbenches. FreeCAD divides the workbenches into 2 groups, internal and external. Internal workbench usually come built into FreeCAD, for example, the part design workbench, which we will use to design the first piece of this project. To get a sense of what FreeCAD can do, you can open the workbench selector and explore all the internal workbenches. You can reduce the list of workbenches to simplify your workspace. To do this, go to Edit, Preference, Workbenches, and disable the ones you don't need. And then click Apply and OK, and the number of visible workbenches will be reduced. To access the other workbench, the external ones, we use the add-on manager. For this small project, we will need screws and nuts, which we can easily find in an external workbench called fasteners. To get it, go to Tools and click on Add-on Manager. In the Add-on Manager search bar, type fasteners, then open the workbench and click Install. Another useful workbench you can add is Exploded Assembly, which is great for creating animated assemblies. Restart the program and open the document again. And these are the workbenches. Now we can finally start modeling. In the first step, you need to add a body object to the document as required by the workbench, since every solid created in the parts workbench must be inside this object, which is responsible for storing its operation history. In the second step, you need to create a sketch. It can be on the front or right plane, it doesn't matter as long as it is not on the top plane. Click the new sketch command icon, choose the axis plane, and FreeCAD will automatically switch to the Sketcher workbench. This workbench is mainly used to create and edit sketches. Once inside the sketch, use the polyline tool from the Sketcher geometries here to create a sketch shape. Then apply constraints such as constraint horizontal, vertical, and constraint equal from Sketcher constraints to control the geometry's degrees of freedom. Finally, use the dimension tool to set the exact measurements of the sketch. I will take this moment to share some additional settings I usually use. Go to Edit, Preference, Sketcher. Under General, enable the option that allows you to remove redundant constraints whenever possible. Next, for the sketcher's appearance, these are the settings I typically use. Hit Apply and OK. And now close this sketch. Next, we need to create a solid from the sketch we just created. To do this, the Revolve tool from the Part Design Active Tools works very well. With the sketch selected in the tree view, click on the Revolve command icon, this one here. We went exactly 360 degrees, so press OK to finish the operation. Next, we need another sketch to create these holes around the part. For this second sketch, select this face and click New Sketch icon. Use the circle command in the Sketcher geometry to create a circle with a diameter of 17 mm fixed on the y-axis. Pick the dimension command, click on the center of the circle and create a vertical distance of 89 mm, and then close the sketch. Now, let's go to the subtractive tools in the Parts and Workbench. With the sketch selected, choose Pocket. We need a frog hole, so select frog hole and press OK to finish. Now that we have the first hole, we need to create more holes around the piece. To do this, select the last feature, the pocket, and click on the polar pattern command icon. Correct the axis to z-axis and apply 8 occurrence. I almost forgot. This small window on the left side of the 3D view appears whenever we apply properties to an object. For example, in the parts and workbench, when you're performing an addition or subtraction of material, this window shows the relevant properties for that specific feature. Once you finish setting the properties and press OK to close it, the window closes and you return to the 3D view. Now we need the screw and the nut, so we can disable the body object and switch to the fasteners workbench using the workbench selector. As you can see, we have almost all the nuts and bolts we need on this workbench. What we need on this workbench is a bolt and nut with these references. So let's do that. Let's add the screw, and if needed, hide the first piece. Just select the piece and hit spacebar. Next, we will add the nut and move it slightly to the left. The tool I'm using here is the transform tool. In FreeCAD version 1.1, it comes with more options. Next, let's go ahead and specify its dimensions. Refresh if needed. If you want, you can display the frees. Just go to the free parameter and set it to true. Now, save the document so we can assemble the parts in FreeCAD's assembly workbench. Just click in the workbench selector and select assembly workbench. In this workbench, I recommend grouping the parts into a group object. You can rename the object whatever you like. With this group, you can hide or unhide all the parts at answer. In this workbench, to assemble the parts, we always need an assembly object. This object will contain the assembled parts along with their respective joints. Click its icon and it will be added to the document's review. With the assembly object selected, let's add parts. Click this icon and add the first part. Be careful, the first part should always be the one that will remain fixed. If you make a mistake, don't worry, you can change it later. We need 2 copies of the first part, so click add answer. And then add 8 copies of the screw and 8 copies of the nut. Press OK to finish. Now it's time to apply the joints. Let's start with the copies of the first part. Select all the screws and nuts and press space to hide them. Transform the position of the part 002. Rotate the view and select the bottom circular edges of the copies with the Ctrl key, press it and click in Create a Fixed Joint. On the task panel, reverse the joint and press OK. Now you can choose to unhide all the screws or nuts and follow the same procedure to assemble them into the holes of these 2 parts. One piece of advice I would like to share with you is to always look for 3D exercise to practice modeling in FreeCAD. From my own experience, I can say that you gain much better control of the program through practice. Another point is that FreeCAD can sometimes be buggy, so I recommend having a lot of patience. There's so much you can do with FreeCAD for free, so taking the time to really understand the tool can be very beneficial for your projects.